Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. I'm Chris McGee alongside Robert Ory, Big Game James Worthy, and we have Mike Trudell in Houston. The Lakers have now won 7 straight games, 10 of 11. They sweep the mini-series against the Houston Rockets. They are in 3rd place in the Western Conference, 19 games over 500. They own the tiebreaker now for the season over Denver, Minnesota, and Houston, which is huge. Listen, we're going to talk Luka Magic and the way he closed that game. We're going to talk about, I don't know, the greatest game ever played by a 41-year-old, LeBron James, who went for 30 on 13 of 14. But first, James and Rob, I want to start with the 7-game win streak, and this one specifically. Game 2 in Houston, just an incredible gut check moment there going into the 4th, James, after they were outscored 37-22 in the 3rd and dominated in the first half. The Lakers dominated. But in that 3rd, Houston threw that big heavyweight punch. But the Lakers responded. They did it with defense, clutch shooting, and the big 3 going off.
Yeah, there used to be a time in this studio where I might say, okay, they won the first game against Houston, back-to-back game. That might be one that we might give up. But I don't know if we've seen this team play the way they've been playing. They're playing championship caliber basketball right now. And I don't think we've seen that in quite some years. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen this type of basketball with the defense, you know, emphasis on that part of the game. And these guys are willing to play for one another. The chemistry's really good. They're moving up in the standings. I don't think I've seen this in quite some time. So to have this type of impact in the standings and have a collective effort led by today. I mean, Luka did his thing, but LeBron, man, it was amazing what he was able to do today to lead this team. So they're playing really good basketball right now. It's contagious. You see it from Marcus Smart sometimes. You see it from Luka sometimes. You see it from Ayton sometimes. You see it from Rui, Austin. So when you start to get that kind of gel, that kind of blend on both ends of the court, that's a good thing.
Rob, what kind of stands out? I mean, you shoot 60%. You shoot 47% from 3. You have 30 assists. You kind of battle in that rebounding edge. You're only down by 4. Usually Houston wins that. They're the top rebounding team in the league. The defense in the 4th, like, what kind of sticks out for you when you're watching that game?
You know, I think it has to go to the first half. Because I think they set they mark in the first half, the way they guarded KD, even though KD got hot in the second half. But I think when you start a game out, you start out with the energy and the effort, and it can carry over into the second half. And I think that carry over to not so great in the 3rd quarter, but it's how you finish. It went over into the 4th quarter, how they was playing great defense, rebounding, and paying attention to details. That's something the Lakers sometimes have issues with, that they don't know how to close games out back in the past because they want to do the little things. But you think about all the steals they got, all the rebounds they had to fight for. So I think the attention to details and the way they started the game out was a carry over to the second half.
Rob, I think that's such a great answer. I wrote this down. KD in 4 straight quarters, second half of game 1, first half of game 2, 4 points. That's a damn good job defensively. You're talking one of the great scorers of all time.
You think about Durant's, you think about all the things he can do offensively, what he can do. He claims he's not 7 feet tall, but he is.
He is.
He can handle the ball like a point guard, and it's hard to block a shot. I don't think I've ever seen someone go straight up with him and block a shot. You've seen people get it from the blind side, but he's such a great scorer. We always talk about DeMar DeRozan, you know, and how great he is at mid-range. KD is probably just as good as him or better. And I think he can do that because he can jump over the top of you. You see him in his warm-ups, how he prepares for the game. They're all mid-range. You hardly ever see him shoot a lot of outside shots, but he's so good. He's one of those prolific scorers that we talk about. We had to graph it up there.
Yeah.
He's about to pass MJ. And so he's just an amazing scorer. But when they play team defense on him, how they blitz him, I think they call it fire. When they fire and get it out of his hand, smart coaching.
Yeah, great coaching as well, especially during this streak. We've seen all the adjustments. James, let's talk Luka and the way he closed that game. I got 4 plays in a row for you. He had the dagger. He had the big 3, and then back-to-back split the defense around the back, lobs no look, and then the dagger 3. There's the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
the spinning 3 is what I should have said.
Yes. Like a spinning top, man. He spun the defense around, and he ended up wide open. That one was risky. I don't know if I would attempt that. I don't know too many people that would attempt a behind the back split the defense.
No look.
And then throw a no look lob over to Rui. And then gets it to Ayton and gets it back. You know what's coming. spinning, throwing a lob up to LeBron this time. Has eyes in the side of his head, no look pass. He saw LeBron coming baseline. Great play. Rob, you take this one.
Yeah, no, right here, everybody's like, relax, and you know what? I'm gonna get the rock and dance, dribble. Jabari, you ain't even been in the league long enough to stop me, man. You still young. And, you know, anytime you can shoot a ball over a guy who went to Auburn, I love it even more. He just right the dagger right in his eye.
In the reaction of his teammates, you see AR and LeBron come over, and DA, that is what I do. It's basically what he said. What'd he say, Rob?
You tell me what he said.
You say it, Rob.
You the host.
You got more money than me, you say it. Most career games with 40 points and 10 assists in NBA history. The Big O did it 46 times. James Harden has done it 32 times, and he's still playing. Impressive. Luka Doncic already 26 times. Absolute crazy fourth quarter for Luka once again. All right, now we got to get to LeBron. As Luka said to Mike Trudell, we don't win this game without him. The way he played on both ends of the floor and that zone that he was in the first half, scoring 8 at the first quarter, having 18 at half, and ending up with 30 on 13 of 14 from the field. He also, at one point, James, had a crazy block underneath the basket where he had to do it with his left hand. He did not foul. That was a part of the big rally of Lakers. He just was magnificent tonight.
It's a new LeBron. You know, he's had this career. He's already run 4. He's broken the records. Now he's got Luka on his team with a dynamic Austin Reeves. And he's finding a new way to still dominate without having to take all the pressure and all the pounding. And it's just wonderful to see that he's developed this game as, like I said, I'm going to call us, Rob's calling him a specialist. I like that. And that's what he is. Still doing what LeBron has been doing his whole career, but allowing other stars to flourish and play their game as well. So what he did tonight, Gita, was just remarkable.
You know, I don't know how many points it was, but y'all remember when Klay Thompson scored I think 50 points on 5 dribbles?
Wasn't it 36 in one quarter off of only a couple dribbles?
Yeah, it was crazy. And that's what we saw in LeBron tonight. You think about it, he didn't really put the ball on the floor that many times. I'm not counting like this right here where you try to get to the hole. Like when he tried to create a shot like a Luka does, think about it. The alley-oops here, even though...
He had 5 or 6 dunks.
Yeah, 5 or 6 dunks.
2 threes.
And 2 threes. And for me, that's efficient. When you can score without dribbling the basketball to try to create, and for me, that's great for LeBron because, let's be honest, if you dribble a rock, that takes a lot out of you because you got to make this move, you got to pick it up, you got to hesitate, you got to spin. But when LeBron can put 2, 3 dribbles and get to the rack and dunk, or just sit there and pump fake, shoot a 3, or catch and shoot, that's how I want to see LeBron play. Don't get me wrong. There's times where you can do all that and put it on the floor, but I love it when you make the game easy for him. I mean, just get it to him going downhill, dunk, get it to him in the corner for the jumper, because that's prime LeBron, because he doesn't have to, extend all that energy. And that's what, think about it. He's 40 years old, playing this game at a high level. You ain't got all that energy, Geeter. Sometimes the tank going to be empty.
It's just absolutely incredible. And just over the last 11 days, listen, this team has won 7 in a row. They've won 10 out of 11, but they've changed narratives for the people that are kind of finally catching on and really starting to watch this team. In the last 11 days, they've beaten the Knicks, they've beaten the Nuggets, they've beaten the T-Wolves, and they've beaten the Rockets twice. That's 5 wins over
playoff teams.
Not just playoff teams, but 4 top 10 teams in the league.
Yeah.
That's something.
That's a mindset.
That's something.
That's a mindset.
That's real.
That's in your team meetings after looking at some video and having the conversations that you decide that we're better than what we're seeing on this, on this critique film. We're better than this. Our effort's better. Our concentration and execution is better. And they made a decision when they got everybody back. Ayton decided that he's going to step up. But I'm going to say this. I know Luka, LeBron, and Austin doing their thing, but I still think the key ingredient is Marcus Smart.
I was just going to say,
and
Marcus
I'm not
Smart.
in the locker room every day, but I can sense
that
he's put his feel on this team defensively, and they have connected in that area. I give him a lot of credit for that.
He has been absolutely incredible what he has done for this team, igniting them on the defensive end, hitting clutch shots. DeAndre Ayton, another big game as well. And guys, you know what the key to this whole thing is? Availability. The team's been healthy. So they're playing together, and JJ's been able to, like, find his rotations and play with that. And believe me, they had, what, 49 games this year where one of those guys wasn't playing? All right, time to hear from Coach JJ Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.